Welcome to the channel. I'm Billy D, and this is, of course, Done Different. And today is basically a continuation of my last video. Now, in the last video, I told you guys that I was going to be trying to crank over the Saturn to see if I could take it to the key swap. And if that doesn't work, then we're going to try to get the RV up and running and reliable enough to take the key swap. And then if that doesn't work, the Mustang. So, without further ado and a whole lot of talking, we're just going to get into it. I'm going to pull the wheel off, take the inner liner out, wheel liner, and then crank down on the crank on the motor and hope it turns over. Even if it does, I don't know that I have enough time to diagnose it and fix it and get it there. So I'm really counting on the RV, but let's go ahead and see if the motor turns over on the Saturn. It looks like just one of these little retaining pins, whatever they're called, is still attached. All the rest seem to be loose. Man, that's a lot of oil in buildup. Of course, I think that was all done way before me, but you know, I haven't looked under this thing to see if there's a hole in the block or anything. But let's go ahead and grab whatever size that is. I don't think that's lug size. I think it's a little bit bigger. Yeah. Go grab the right size for that and see if we can't get this to turn over. Okay, I'm guessing 21. Oh, look at that. Nailed it. Yeah, there's supposed to be a correct way to turn it. I don't know which way this engine turns over. But, oh man. Oh yeah. Oh, son of a gun. Yep. I don't have a ton of leverage there, but yeah, pretty sure that is locked up. Yeah, we're just gonna say it's locked up, and I will get under it on a different day and see if there's a hole in the block or something. But yeah, it's what I was afraid of. Looks like this car is just gonna be scrap. All right, let's move on to the RV. All right, so here's the plan with the RV. First, I'm gonna go around and air up all the tires on the RV. I have brought my generator out here and my compressor, not because I don't have electrical that I can't run from the garage, I do, but because I don't really winterize like my small engines and that kind of stuff over the winters. I just make sure and run them 2 or 3 times over the winter for at least 10 to 15 minutes. And usually, you know, put them through their load. Like if it's the lawnmower, I'll mow with it for a few minutes, or if it's the generator, plug something into it like this compressor. And, you know, get everything working and get everything flowing through the carb and whatnot. And then I have never had any problems when it comes to springtime and summer. If you make sure and run those instead of, you know, winterizing them, running them out of gas. But anyway, after I get all the tires aired up on the RV, then I'm going to throw the battery in it. I'm going to move it to the driveway. Actually, you know what? I'm going to throw the battery in it. I'm going to let it run and let it warm up. And then I'm going to pull the battery cables off and see if it still runs. Because if I remember correctly, when I first bought this and I drove it home, I pulled the cable off and it died, meaning that the alternator is bad. And I don't want to have to change the alternator on this, because I have done plenty of 350 alternators, but never on something with a quarter of a hood. And this, there's a lot of shit to work around to get this off, and I just simply don't have the time when I can just quickly get the Mustang ready to go. So if the alternator is not working properly or it dies when I unplug the battery, then I'm just going to not worry about the RV and switching the alternator out and do that maybe later and then try to sell it or something. I don't know what I'm going to do with this thing, but if the alternator doesn't work, then I'm not going to take it to the key swap and we'll move on to the Mustang. If it does, then we'll take it to the key swap. All right, enough talking. Let's go ahead and get this thing started up. Gas smells bad, but it's running. I'm gonna let it warm up and then we will disconnect the battery and see if it still runs. All right, it's been running for about 10-15 minutes. Doesn't seem like it's coming up to temp or the temp gauge isn't working. The fan was on, it was a high idle until I revved it up and then it came down, so who knows. All right, I'm gonna disconnect the negative side. Oh, yeah, I think it's gonna die. Yeah. It doesn't like that. And of course, look at that. Locking gas cap. And of course I don't have the key. Or do I? Ow. Told you I had a key. What a horrible placement for the exhaust and the gas fill. I'm gonna have to turn this off and let that cool, because I know with these gas cans I will spill some and I just don't want to risk blowing this thing up and myself. So I'm gonna turn it off and let these cool for a minute. Go ahead and put this one back on for now since I know I can get it off. Not gonna do it super tight though. All right, let's crank this thing up, let her run. I'm a little confused. It was running for 20 minutes. I mean, that really should have weakened the battery enough it wouldn't start. Well, the voltage was going down, but I played with the wires a little bit and voltage went back up. So I don't know if maybe it's just not making good connection and that's why it seems that the alternator's not working. I don't know. I'm gonna let it run and we'll come back and find out in, I don't know, half an hour, an hour. we'll see however long it takes for it to die. If I run it for 2 hours and it doesn't die, I'm gonna assume the alternator's working, but we will find out. Yeah, voltage is definitely falling. Oh yeah. I think I'm just used to modern cars with all the electronical crap that makes them run down fast. I think that this will eventually die, and I'll need to throw a charged battery on it. So yeah, looking like alternator or some connection between the battery and the alternator. I don't know. I'm not messing with it. We confirm that this is the problem and it dies, then I'll move on to the Mustang. And that'll be the key swap car for this year. Okay, I changed my mind. I watched a 6-minute YouTube video on swapping this alternator out. I will give credit to him in the comments, a link to that. And it looks easy enough, so that's what we're gonna try to do. Okay. Start by putting the bracket on, and to make sure that it's lined up, drop the bolt in there. There we go. All right, everything's back in place. I'm probably gonna have to jump it, but took the battery back up, and if it won't start off the battery, then we'll jump it. Disconnect the battery and see if it still runs. Okay, that don't sound good. Shit, that thing is hot. I wonder if maybe I got the belt on the wrong part. Oh yeah, that's what it was. It needs to go back. Yeah, I got my belt on the wrong pulley, I think. Let's try that and see if that works. Take off the battery cable and see if it runs. Weird, I don't know why it does that. Idles high until I put my foot on the accelerator. It's kind of strange. Okay, now let's try. Moment of truth. Look at that. Still running, fully disconnected. Well, I'm not too keen on that sound. I don't know if you hear it. Sounds like something's maybe hitting fan shroud or something. I don't know. I'm gonna let it warm up for a little bit. Then I'm gonna check the oil and transmission fluid, the coolant, all that good stuff. And then hopefully tomorrow morning, take this on a little bit of a test rip before I drive it all the way 2 hours down to the key swap. I think that's pretty much gonna do it here. Thank you guys for watching. Next video is going to be of the key swap, so make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you drop a like, comment below, share this video, and I will see you guys at the key swap. Psych! The alternator belt was not lined up correctly because the pulley on the new alternator is spaced back a little further than it should be, somewhere between 1/4 to 1/2 inch. So I tried pulling the pulley off while the alternator was still attached, but I'm just destroying the fan on the alternator by doing that. So I am going to pull the alternator back out, pull the nut off, pull the pulley off, put the old pulley and spacer and fan on the new alternator and reinstall it. Not getting the best footage doing this because it's hard to get my camera in there and show you guys this process. So I'm just gonna get it done, and if it works, I'll let you guys know. If not, then we'll get the Mustang ready and take it to the swap. All right, I got the pulley from the old alternator on there, a spacer, actually 2 spacers on it, and it's a little bit better lined up, but I don't know. I don't know if it's perfectly lined up. We will see. Gonna go ahead and crank it over and see if we still get those squeaking noises and this pulley getting hot. If so, then we move on from the RV. Son of a gun. Yep, already getting hot too. Well, I don't exactly know why it's not lining up. Maybe the difference on the new alternator actually has a little bit shallower dish or something to it, so that the pulley is not lining up right. It's definitely off by quite a bit. So we're gonna say screw it. I'm gonna park this thing and check on the Mustang and see if I can get the coil pack to seat like I talked about earlier. And regardless, looks like the Mustang is gonna be what I'm taking to the key swap. Sorry about this video being kind of all over the place, but that's gonna do it for this video this time, for real. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, all that good stuff. I will see you guys in the next one. Billy D, alternating on out of here. Peace.